Here is your full, long-form, emotional 40-minute YouTube-style story written exactly the way your format demands. Strong hook, deep emotions, smooth pacing, cinematic narration, and a powerful message at the end. Navy SEAL asked the single dad's rank as a joke, then every admiral on the Navy ship saluted him. The ocean roared in the background, wind slapping against the steel hull of the massive Navy ship, when it happened. A young Navy SEAL, grinning mischievously, leaned toward the quiet janitor sweeping the deck. "Hey old man," he joked loudly, loud enough for the others to hear, "what's your rank?" "Custodian first class." A few SEALs chuckled. The janitor didn't react. He just kept sweeping, eyes calm, almost too calm, like someone who had seen storms far worse than wind and waves. Moments later, everything froze. Because walking onto the deck, unexpected, unannounced, were 3 Navy admirals and the commander of the fleet, their medals flashing under the sunlight. And before the SEALs could stand at attention, every single admiral stopped, stared at the janitor, and raised their hand in a full, sharp salute. The SEAL's smile vanished. The sailors around him gasped. And the janitor? He didn't salute back. He simply nodded, as if this was nothing new. If you're watching this, don't skip, because what you're about to hear is a story of humility, sacrifice, and a father's love. And if it touches your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because stories like this deserve to be heard. The truth behind that salute began years earlier. His name was Daniel Harlow, a single father who worked as a janitor at the naval pier. To most, he looked like a man weathered by life, great hair, tired eyes, simple clothes. But to his son, Ethan, he was everything. Every morning, Ethan would wake early, pack Daniel's lunchbox, and beg him not to work overtime. "Dad, you're always tired, can't you rest one day?" Daniel would smile, kiss the boy's forehead, and reply, "Soon, buddy. Once you graduate, once you're stable, once life stops being so heavy, I'll rest." He never talked about his past. Never showed pictures. Never mentioned the military. People simply assumed he was just a quiet janitor who minded his business. But inside, Daniel carried more scars, physical and emotional, than anyone around him could imagine. Years before he ever pushed a broom, Daniel had been one of the Navy's most elite assets, a legend few knew by name, and fewer had seen in person. His missions were classified, his existence buried under layers of secrecy. The Navy called him Specter, the operator who entered war zones like a ghost and left without a trace. But tragedy had a price. On his final mission, Daniel's wife, also a Navy officer, was killed in an attack meant for him. After recovering Ethan from the chaos, he vanished from the special operations world. He walked away from war, from medals, from recognition, choosing instead a life where he could be a full-time father. He made one request to the Navy. Erase him from all active rosters. No honors. No ceremonies. Just peace. The Admirals agreed. They owed him that much. And for years, Daniel lived quietly, sweeping floors in the same Navy port that once launched him into battle. No one recognized him. No one suspected the truth. Until the day the SEALs arrived. The SEAL who joked with Daniel was new, freshly assigned to the ship USS Valor, a vessel preparing for a top-level inspection in a classified demonstration attended by the highest-ranking officers in the Pacific Fleet. Daniel, as usual, had been asked to help clean the deck before the Admirals' arrival. That's when the young SEAL, trying to impress others, decided to tease the quiet janitor. But then the Admirals walked in. And everything changed. The commander stepped forward, eyes locked on Daniel. "Sir, it's been an honor to serve under your shadow." The SEALs exchanged confused glances. "Sir, under your shadow? Who is this guy?" Another admiral lowered his voice respectfully. "You shouldn't be sweeping floors. Not after what you did in Coast, Kandahar, and the Strait, Specter." Specter. The word hit the deck like a grenade. The SEALs froze, every muscle in their bodies tensing in shock. Because Specter wasn't a normal operator. He was a myth, a ghost, the man entire enemy battalions feared but never saw. The SEAL who had mocked Daniel felt his throat close. His knees almost buckled. He had joked with that man. Daniel sighed softly. "I'm not him anymore, but you will always be him to us," another admiral said. The deck fell silent as dozens of sailors stared at the humble janitor who had just been saluted by the highest-ranking officers in the Navy. Daniel swallowed. All he wanted was peace, and his son. While everyone stood in awe, Ethan navigated his way through the crowd, carrying a lunchbox too big for his hands. "Dad," he called out. Daniel's expression softened instantly. He lifted the boy gently into his arms. The admirals watched in silence. Ethan whispered, "Did I get you in trouble?" The officers looked mad. Daniel chuckled, brushing the boy's hair. "No, buddy. They're just remembering old times." The commander stepped closer, lowering his voice. "Daniel, listen. The Navy owes you more than we can ever repay. You shouldn't be living like this."